So let's talk briefly about, now you have your visa, right? What's next? You book your flight. So do you have any advice on travel when it comes to maybe a first timer or for students?
I would say this is country specific. Okay.
Yeah.
For someone coming from Nigeria again, there's this inconsistency, with financial regulatory bodies that when I was to book my flight ticket, there was a regulation, a kind of restriction on how much you can actually spend on internet.
Yeah.
So I was to book straight on the airline website, but because of those restrictions, I couldn't pay in foreign currency.
So how did you?
So I had to look for third-party agents.
Oh, okay.
So I went on their website straight away, and I converted there was not too much difference. If you sacrifice just a few thousand naira, I think it shouldn't be too much for all the effort that one has actually. So I always advise that you just go straight, especially if it's your first time thing. Go straight to those websites, or you go to their office. They have offices in Lagos, all around Lagos and Ibadan. Yeah. And I'm sure in Port Harcourt and Abuja. Or
in other countries. Yeah, they're watching from outside the country, you can find that out. So,
and one thing about booking with those people is that there's a way they can help you to structure your flight so that even if you are going to have stopovers, it will be on the same ticket. Yeah. It's not like you'll be checking in, checking out every time. It will flow. And then it's just at your last destination that you got to pick your check-in bags.
Yeah, so that's important especially for students or first-time travelers, that you make sure your flight is on a single ticket, regardless of the number of stopovers that you have. Because when you check in your bags at the airport, all your bags, because I imagine people have like 2, 3, 4 bags sometimes. So all your bags will be checked in, and you would receive all your bags at your final destination. But if your flights are not on a single ticket, you would probably be asked to, take your bags after you get to a stopover airport. Then you have to check them in again, and you might be unlucky.
The flight, man.
You might miss the flight. You might. For domestic flights in the United States, for the most part, most airlines would take another luggage fee from you. So you want to avoid that extra payment. And sometimes it can be as high as $50 per bag. All right. Another thing about travel is when you get here, you would get to a port of entry, which is a special place at all international airports in the United States. And when you get here, you will have to present all your documents again. So please make sure you take along all the important documents. Let's say all the documents you used for your visa interview. There is no big deal to, just pack everything with you as you're coming. And those documents should be in your hand luggage. That's the one that would, the luggage that will be with you in the plane, so that you can easily access it when you get to the port of entry. So there is really no big deal at the port of entry. I think the important thing is to have those documents, and you might be asked 1 or 2 questions. And I think another important thing is they will probably ask where you are going, right? Yeah. And if you have an address or something of the place.
Actually, those things, there will be a form that you will have filled the address and all those.
In the plane, right?
Yeah, in the plane. So once they see those things, and you have the right reason, and your reason is genuine to be in the US, they are not likely going to ask much question.
Cool. So if you don't have like an accommodation yet, we'll talk about accommodation soon. If you don't have an accommodation and you need an address, you can put the address of the International Student Office as where they can, they just need somewhere that they can contact in case they are looking for you. But that doesn't happen often. So that's that about that. So let's talk briefly about accommodation. So how did you guys settle accommodation? And I'm going to start with Tope.
Well, if issue of accommodation is just all about making contact. Before I even got the admission, I started speaking with some of the students in the lab of mine to be advisor there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was so easy, really, I was to search for accommodation. I just spoke with a few students who gave me some links of agency who are in charge of accommodation, realtors agents. So
okay,
I spoke to them and did the negotiations, and I was to pay. I had already signed the contract even back there in Nigeria, and I realized that if I were to wait till I get into the US before making payments, I may find that difficult because I might not have enough dollars to do that. So I decided to start paying, like 2 months before my arrival time, so that there was this restriction on how much I can spend on international transactions. So I started making the payment 2 months prior. So gradually, and before I arrived, I had already completed the payments for my accommodation.
So the bottom line is you booked a place before you even got on a plane.
Well, right? No, not compulsorily. You just look at your own. You have to look at your own peculiarities.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah, so that's what I did.
So, what did you do when it comes to when it came to accommodation?
Yeah, my own school, they have these temporary housing for international students, but due to the pandemic, it was locked, so it was not in service. So I contacted a lot of people on LinkedIn so that I can stay with them for a few days before getting my apartment. So that was what I did. It's not I didn't I didn't get any housing fee from Nigeria. I did that.
That's also a good option. So you can either go with the realtors here in the United States in your vicinity, and they will help you find a place. But you can also do what Ife did, like contact students in your school. For example, international students like you, or if students from your country, and you can see if they can help you maybe find a place or find someone who has a roommate, or they can sometimes take you in for a couple of days or a couple of weeks so that you can get to see the environment and be sure of where you actually want to live. So those are varieties of options that you can take when it comes to accommodation. So that's that. I'm not gonna bother you guys too much. You guys have given us a lot of information, so I hope it will be helpful for a lot of other young scholars out there. So thank you very, very much for sharing with us today, Mr.
It's always a pleasure.
And Ife, thank you for being here as well.
Oh, thank you for hosting me. Thank you very much.
And I want to wish you all the best. I know you are just starting the journey, but it's a good place to start this academic journey. It might be tough, but at some point it might be challenging.
Hopefully we excel.
Yeah, you guys will do great. So I'm sure you guys will do great, and I'm rooting for you. So that's that for this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel and like our Facebook page, and I also give a lot of spontaneous tips on our Instagram page, Best Man Academy. I'll see you in the next video.